coverage has become so weak, it's now led by men and women who didn't play or LeBron stans and former teammates. Jalen Rose, I know you did not just say this. There's so many things wrong with this tweet, I don't even really know where to start for real. First, NBA media, low-key, has always been people who didn't play. That's why there was such a big push in like the last 10 years of players starting their own podcasts, making sure that they're a part of the media so that they can help control the narrative. That's a big thing of everybody saying that, you know, the people in media never played. So that's not a new thing. But then this part, saying that it's just LeBron stans and former teammates. Before LeBron, was the media not just a bunch of Michael Jordan fans? And not only are they Jordan fans, but on a daily basis, you see them tear down LeBron every single day. The media is run by LeBron hate, not LeBron love. So now that he's 24 years into his career and he finally started getting some love, and it's really just this summer because he switched teams, now the media is weak. That don't make no sense. If they were still talking about Jordan every day, you would love it. But then on top of that, like, how many people in media are actually LeBron stans? It's really just Shannon Sharp and Nick Wright, and that's it. Stephen A. Smith still on TV. Tony Allen been going viral all week. Paul Pierce and KG ain't LeBron stans. Shaq, Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, Skip Bayless, Rashad McCann. Literally nobody in media is a LeBron stan. So I do not like this post by Jalen Rose, bro. Stop it.
Yo, Jalen Rose, shut the fuck up! Jalen Rose says that LeBron wouldn't be dominant in his era. He said, and I quote, "The game was much more physical in my era. LeBron would have had a much harder time because every trip to the rim came with a price." Oh my god. Jalen Rose, need I remind you about the March 20th incident when LeBron Raymond James, in your quote-unquote era, gave you 60 fucking points. 56 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists to be exact. Fuck you talking about? Against Jalen Rose, LeBron James has averaged 27.7 rebounds and 7 assists in 9 games. Obviously, Jalen averages a little 16, 17 points per game against LeBron too. Today is not on the same level. And even if you're not talking about just Jalen Rose, the entirety of the early 2000s, this man Bron by year 3 was already leading the league in scoring. Fuck is you talking about? Already averaging 30, making All-Star game, making the playoff. By year 2, he was there, bro. Bro jumped up and scoring by 7 points per game. That shit was easy for him. Fuck is you talking about? You pissing me off. No, because Jalen Rose, you really can't be talking right now. At least it made a little bit of sense when Scottie Pippen said it, but you're Jalen Rose. Oh my god. Get off my screen, bro.
This is an interesting one in my opinion. So Jalen Rose, I did a short too. I'll connect them both. Jalen Rose made an interesting point. He says that the NBA coverage it sucks right now. Everyone I put on the screen is run by people who didn't play basketball, females and males, men and women, and LeBron stans. I mean, in general, there's a lot of issues in the media with coverage. You know, that's why YouTube has become the #1. It defeated Hollywood and entertainment. I mean, because you can get whatever you're looking for. You know, a lot of these guys got great editors. A lot of these guys do great jobs. You know, just with the vocabulary, their documentaries that they do, or they do a great job getting a point across, doing their research, or being entertaining. And they don't have to have a broomstick up their butt to be stuck up, and they just genuinely them. But he's right. NBA coverage across the board is just something that is just, I don't like. It's just got to be saying something over shock value to get some emotion going on. Or, you know, if somebody, you know, saying something that should have been private, like Kendrick Perkins, you know, guys putting on minstrel shows, a bunch of misandrists on there with guys. Oh, you know, the whole mentality is, why do guys get to be on covering basketball? Why can't we do it? And they get there. And, you know, I love Monica McNutt. She seems really cool, but, you know, her calling Drewski thinking he was Barry Sanders, and she had a questionable question to the boxer, Terrence Crawford. Didn't know much about him. And, you know, at the end of the day, he's right. The NBA coverage is just LeBron. It's going to be a bunch of 76ers. Nobody's getting educated. They allow MJ, Michael Jordan to finesse them out of money. And all he did was an hour-long interview, and they chopped it up during the season. Is nobody really giving, you know, breaking down matchups like that. And, you know, got David Finsdale, who's really good on TV. I like what they're doing on NBA TV, to be honest. But the major coverage he talking about, you know, it's just, I like Blake and Vince Carter, T-Mac. I love what they doing. But I think he's really talking about the ESPN syndicated coverage, man, where it's just, you know, LeBron beef with Stephen A. It's going to be a bunch of Sixers commentary. And, you know, honestly, bro, you know, people ready to move on. You know, if Victor going to be the face of the league, whether it's going to be Victor Wembanyama, Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, Cade Cunningham, we just ready to turn the leaf. You know, it should be a lot more parity. You know, the NBA, they ratings are falling. And I know people say, well, it was up last year. It's because Nielsen changed the way they measure TV ratings. And that's why you kind of got to do your research and just happen to, or just hope that you're in the right place at the right time. And it's just got to be more parity. They should have a night where they spotlight young teams, young and up and coming teams that, may not, get that TV recognition, like a young Atlanta Hawks team. It should be a Wednesday or a Thursday night where those it's a night just for teams that we may not be able to see get that spot with young and up and coming talent. May it be, like I said, may it be Atlanta, may it be Orlando, may it be Detroit, may it be some of these teams that, maybe people, maybe it may be a player, that may be a player that people may not, he may not be on the best team, but people want to see him. There should be a night where they just have 2 or 3 games every week of those type of teams on one night. They just don't have any creativity. It's just like, let's just keep doing this LeBron, this stuff. And that's why people had and it's a lot of lies in the media, and that's what he getting at when he's saying LeBron stands and people don't know what they talking about. Because a lot of people believe that Western Conference was superior last year. And I've said it all year. I said it, during the playoffs when the Pistons lost. I said the Knicks is going to win the championship. Anybody you ask, I told y'all the Knicks was going to win it, and I was saying all last year, I'm like, the East is better. But he's right. It's a lot of propaganda. It's a lot of, shock value commentary just to get TV ratings. And, they getting their ass kicked by YouTube. They getting their ass kicked by independent podcasters. A lot of guys and girls left at ESPN and they went on to be successful. But there's no truth on there. It seems like written. It seems like the script is written, or, if a team win a big game, it's kind of like they get a 10-game winning streak. Oh, they're the greatest team of all time. And, it's just, is he better than him? It's just a lot of force stuff. And then it's a bunch of misandrists on there, like Malika Andrews, who NBA draft night was just hating on, black fathers. And she has a lot of misandry towards black men. Nobody want to watch that shit, man. We watch it to hear, basketball when Molly was bringing up like, shit off the floor and all that. Oh, I want to hear that, man. This is why a lot of times females don't belong in male spaces. They want to feel included. Turn your own spaces up. You don't see a surplus of heterosexual men trying to get into a female space. They got their spaces. We're not trying to be in the salons. We're not trying to be in the MAC makeup store. We're not trying to be in the Chanel or the Coach store buying female bags, not heterosexual men. So I just never really understand that. But he's right. The coverage sucks. It's just, let's put LeBron and all these old dudes on the pedestal. Let's not change over to the young guys. And it's a whole bunch of people pushing narratives. It's a bunch of people they can control and manipulate. And the product sucks. And this is why, I don't really pretty much watch it. I don't watch none of that pregame bullshit show, or, now NBC got where you can turn the commentators off. They need that across the board. But hey, just my opinion on it. I agree with them. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Check out the NBA Talk playlist. Find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, the whole 9. Hit the link in the description. Join the Patreon as well, too. Say find me everywhere. Peace. Hype the video.
Jalen Rose, former NBA player and Michigan Wolverines legend, and good NBA player, made a comment saying that NBA coverage has become weak. It's now led by people who didn't play or former players who be on their slurpology on LeBron James. And my thing about Jalen Rose, you have a right to your opinion, but when you say led by people who didn't play or people who are LeBron James fans, I think you're assuming that the guys and the people who we see on these national platforms, they're leading the coverage. They're not leading the coverage. There are a lot of former players and a lot of players who didn't play and a lot of journalists who still cover the NBA and the NFL, but the NBA, for this matter, equally unbiased. You just don't shine the light on them. There's plenty of people that's still covering the NBA that are not LeBron James slurpologists like you intimated, or don't know what they're talking about. Just because somebody is on a national platform and they're talking sports, they're not leading the coverage. You just focusing your attention on them because they're on those platforms. Tap into some of these podcasts and some of these social media sites and channels where you have very knowledgeable people who didn't play breaking down the NBA and NFL, but the NBA in this specific instance, perfectly unbiased, breaking down the game. I played football for a long time, but I watch some YouTube clips sometimes or some social media clips of people who didn't play at the highest level that I played at, and they be breaking the damn game down perfectly. I be like, damn, because they study. They study a lot more than cats who played who were just talented. So you got to write your opinion. But I wouldn't dog the cats who are in the industry that you were in for a long time and still probably want to be in, but you lost the job. And I ain't taking no shot at you, Jalen Rose. I got much respect for you. But don't take shots at cats who doing it right now, who still doing it, and you probably still want to do it. And don't say those are the ones who are leading the NBA coverage. No, they're just on these major platforms and have been given opportunities. That don't mean they're leading the coverage. That's just my thoughts on it. Keep doing your thing, though, J. Rose. It kind of sound a little haterish, but I'm just saying, my guy. But got to write your opinion. All praises to the Most High.